Hey guys, Ilran here with a Demon Hunter PvP guide for the spec Havoc in World of Warcraft Legion patch 7.2.5. So this guide is not by any chance an in-depth guide with macros and anything, but it's a guide for you guys to get an idea of the playstyle of DH this patch, what changed, what remained the same, the talents, the honor talents to take, right, and synergies with different comps. Okay, so let's begin with our honor talents, right? For our first honor talent, we have adaptation. I usually choose adaptation versus most comps because sure you can control your trinket, but it's a 1 minute cooldown, and the less time that you have to use a CC breaker, the better, right? But if you face rogue teams, then I don't recommend you take this. I recommend you take or Gladiator's Medallion, Trinket, or Relentless. For a second tier, we have Reinforced Armor, which increases your HP by 10%. In Legion, the health pools are insanely huge, so when you add another 10% on top of that, it's even better, especially as a melee. Okay. For next tier, we have Glimpse. Before the patch, Solitude was the way to go, because whenever you were separated from your teammates, 15-yard difference would deal more damage. This made Demon Hunters very good at sitting healers after meta to maintain pressure, right? Especially after healers run Vim and Vigor, which is a talent that as long as the healer has above 80% HP, they heal more. And when there's a Demon Hunter sitting on the healer, he will never be above 80% HP. Therefore, he does not receive healing buff from his Vim and Vigor, which is something very important, guys. If you see a healer running Vim and Vigor, be sure to keep dots on him, so he has to worry about staying above 80% health, okay? But now, after the patch, we take Glimpse, and the reason we take Glimpse is because there is a regular talent that synergizes perfectly well with Glimpse. We'll get to that later. You automatically gain Blur for 3 seconds after you use Vengeful Retreat. Okay. For next year, we have Unending Hatred, Reverse Magic, and Eye of Leotheris. I love using Eye of Leotheris when you face casters, especially Locks and Shadow Priests. You might be asking, oh Ayo, but I don't think that's very viable because healers dispel it instantly. Well, of course they're gonna dispel it. If you're gonna be an idiot and just begin the battle, throw the Eye of Leotheris on a target, the healer's gonna dispel it. You need to time the way you use this ability. Right? When you burst a target with Meta and Chaos Blades, the dude is gonna be at 40%. Then you want to use your Eye of Leotheris after you use your stuns and your burst on the target. Because either the healer will dispel and let the dude die, or he will top the guy and leave the eye. Right? So it's a win-win situation. This is an ability where you have to time it for it to be effective. For next year, we have Demonic Origins. The cooldown of meta is reduced by 2 minutes, but now lasts 15 seconds. This is fucking amazing. While not in Metamorphosis, your damage is increased by 10%. Even better. No comment. Everything else in this tier sucks. This is a go-to talent. Detainment is the only way to go. Rain from above got nerfed to the fucking ground. Mana Break is crap. Before, I remember in Season 2, I think, I used to hit 3 million hits with Mana Break. Now it hits like a fucking piece of cookie. It's shit. So Detainment is the way to go, right? You need a CC. This is a good CC for healers, especially if you're playing with a warrior, a class that does not have a sap. Take Detainment. Okay. Now for her talents. First here is Fellblade. Charge to your target and deal 250k fire damage. Demon Bite has a chance to reset the cooldown of Fellblade. This is the only viable talent in this row. Why? Because Demon Hunters are already annoying as fuck. Demon Hunters have Vengeful Retreat, 2 charges of Full Rush, Double Jump, and your Mastery gives you movement speed. So you're already mobile. When you add Fellblade to your arsenal, that's another mobility with a chance to be reset. So you will have constant uptime on your target. They will not be able to peel you that well. So Fellblade is the way to go. For the level 100 here, we have Demon's Blade, which replaces your Demon's Bite. Your auto attacks have a 60% chance to deal additional shadow damage and generate preview. So think about this for a second, guys. Your auto attacks do damage, and they have a chance to do additional damage on top of the regular damage. Shadow damage. Very important, right? It's not physical damage, shadow damage. Very important, guys. Right? So this is our go-to talent. It helps a lot with fear regeneration, right? And you have to keep in mind that when you pop Chaos Blades, your auto attacks deal chaos damage. This works well with Demon's Blade. It synergizes. Okay? So Demon's Blade is the way to go. For your level 102 tier, we have Bloodlet. Okay? Bloodlet causes your Throw Glaive to make the target bleed for 150% of the damage inflicted over 10 seconds if the effect is reapplied, and your remaining damage will be added to the new Bloodlet. Okay, so let's pay attention here. So let's suppose that you throw Bloodlet on a dude. It hits him for a 400k bleed. If you use another Bloodlet, you will add the other like 300 or 400k on top of your 400k Bloodlet. So any damage remaining from the Bloodlet you used previously will be added to the new Bloodlet. It will not put a new bleed. It will add to the damage of the bleed that you just used. So this is a very good talent that synergizes with Master of the Glaive. Okay, for a level 104 talent, we have Desperate Instinct. This is a talent I was telling you about, guys, when we were talking about honor talents. Blur now reduces damage taken by an additional 15%. Additionally, when you automatically trigger Blur when you fall below 35% health. This effect can only occur when Blur is on a cooldown. The reason you take Desperate Instinct is that it synergizes well with Glimpse. So basically, every time you use Vengeful Retreat, you get Blur for 3 seconds, for 15% increased damage reduction. So when you fight teams like warriors and monks, usually any type of melee, they will not be able to deal a lot of damage on you. Like if a warrior pop Recklessness, he gets all that fat crit, right? He has all that ham for you. You just pop Vengeful Retreat, boom, you just dodge the Mortal Strike with Sharpened Blade. Right? For 3 seconds you could dodge everything, and the warrior's cooldowns last for 5 seconds. So if you use Vengeful Retreat, you just basically dodged all of his damage. And you can even use your Blade Dance and we'll give you another more dodge. So rep warrior damage. He did not do shit to you, right? And you didn't even have to use a cooldown. So Desperate Instincts synergizes perfectly well with Glimpse. Keep that in mind. Use Vengeful Retreat as a defensive. For your 106 talent, we have Nemesis. Of course, Nemesis. Nemesis increases the damage you inflict against a target by 25% for 1 minute. When the target is slain, you will inflict 25% additional damage against all creatures of that type. Nemesis is the only viable talent in this road. That's all I have to say, period. 108 is Master of the Glaive. Your Throw Glaive now has 2 charges and snares all enemies hit by 50%. As a melee, it's hard for you to keep uptime on a target that knows what the fuck you're doing. Demon Hunters don't have a slow, so you want a slow. That's why you take Master of the Glaive. And on top of that nice juicy 50% slow, you get 2 charges of Throw Glaive. And Throw Glaive applies the slow and Bloodlet, your bleed. And remember what we said about Bloodlet, is that every time you use Bloodlet, the new Bloodlet adds more damage to the remaining damage of the Bloodlet you used before. So Master of Glaives gives you more Glaive Toss, and more Glaive Tosses give you more Bloodlets, and more Bloodlet is more damage, more pressure, and we want that as a DH. We want damage. We want to wreck face. Okay. So Master of the Glaive is the most viable option for the 108 tier. For the 110 tier, we have Chaos Blades. Okay, and Chaos Blades is a cooldown that is massive. Okay, it increases all damage done by 30%, and while active, your auto attack deals 150% increased damage and causes chaos damage. In this, your Demon's Blades benefits from Chaos Blades because not only do your auto attacks have a 60% chance to deal additional shadow damage, it stacks with your 150% increased damage and chaos damage from Chaos Blades. And if you stack Nemesis with Chaos Blades in a macro and you pop Metamorphosis on a target, you will absolutely anal the target. You will wreck the target's face, right? So that wraps up the talents and honor talents. Now let's talk about your burst rotation. What you want to do is you want to start the game normal. You want to get a good pace. If you see any opportunities, if you get a kick, you go. But you have to use your kick as a CC. If you kick the target and you have the fury, you have the damage, go ham, because they can't trinket a kick lockout, right? You kick the target, go ham. You use your imprison on the target and the other CC, and you can wreck someone in the opener. But ideally, what you want to do is you want to make a macro, right? You want to make a Nemesis Chaos Blades macro, okay? And before you burst, make sure you have 104 fury, okay? After you get a full fury bar, you want to get ready. So you let your team know that you're going to burst. You pick the target, okay? You pop Nemesis Chaos Blades. You pop Metamorphosis on top of the target's face. Use your Chaos Nova to stun. Use your Fury of the Illidari immediately and spam the fuck out of Chaos Strike. Just spam Chaos Strike and Fell Blade. Chaos Strike and Fell Blade, right? And you keep your Bloodlight up. If you do this, the target will take the D so hard that he will be fucking wrecked after. Okay, guys? So, this was a quick guide, right? And I hope you guys enjoy it. Any questions, anything you want to know, just leave in the description. Alright? Subscribe and like our videos for more content, guys. And I hope you enjoy the PvP footage. Okay? Bye-bye.